DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, major news in the race for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Plus, a president's son hears his verdict. And the Delaware Insurance Department faces claims of retaliation. Those stories and much more coming up tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. In breaking news tonight, DETV has learned that former Director of State Housing, Eugene Young, has suspended his race for a seat in Congress. That leaves Delaware State Senator Sarah McBride, the lone Democrat, running for this seat. The seat is being vacated by Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester, who is running for the U.S. Senate seat, that one being vacated by retiring Senator Tom Carper. DETV has been in contact with the campaign for further information, but has not heard back at the time of this broadcast. Also today, Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, was convicted by a federal jury on 3 federal gun charges, marking a historic first for the child of a sitting president. The charges include lying on a federal screening form about his drug use, lying to a gun dealer, and unlawful possession of a firearm. 54-year-old Biden now faces a potential sentence of up to 25 years in prison, though first-time nonviolent offenders typically receive shorter sentences. During the trial, Biden's ex-wife and sister-in-law delivered wrenching, emotional testimony detailing his struggles with drug addiction. Presiding U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Norica remarked, quote, "Usually when we do sentencing, it's 120 days out, but we'll get in touch with you," end quote, indicating that sentencing details will be finalized in due course. This conviction follows the collapse of a plea deal back in July of 2023, which could have resolved both gun and tax charges without prison time for Biden. Additionally, Hunter Biden faces additional federal trials starting in September 5th in California, where he is accused of tax evasion. These legal troubles unfold as President Joe Biden campaigns for re-election. Despite the personal nature of the trial, the elder Biden has publicly supported his son, issuing a statement of support as the trial commenced, and later telling ABC News that he would not pardon his son. To local news now, the legal fallout continues in Delaware's Department of Insurance over harassment claims. 2 years ago, the state paid $440,000 to settle one of 3 lawsuits against Insurance Commissioner Trinidad Navarro. The suit, filed by former employee Fleur McKendall, alleged inappropriate comments and touching. This week, former HR head Jennifer Vaughn's federal lawsuit proceeds, accusing Navarro and his chief of staff of retaliation for her investigation into McKendall's complaint. Now, Vaughn claims she faced demotion and termination as a result of this. Navarro's administration denies these allegations, and a jury will decide the case in U.S. District Court. To other news now, state police have identified the victim of a fatal crash in Fox Point, Edgemoor area Monday as 59-year-old David Taylor of Pennsylvania. 31-year-old Cameron Devine of Middletown was arrested and charged with vehicular homicide. Police say that Devine was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and he hit the left rear tires of Taylor's U.S. Postal Service truck on I-95, causing it to crash and Taylor to die at the scene. Devine, who also crashed and was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, faces multiple charges, including second-degree vehicular homicide, and is being held on a $10,400 cash bond. And for the second time in a week, Delaware State Police are investigating a murder in the Ellendale town. A 17-year-old girl was fatally shot around 4:30 in the afternoon Sunday at the Ellendale Community Center on North Old State Road. A fight reportedly escalated and an unknown suspect opened fire. The girl was taken to a hospital where she later died. A 19-year-old man also arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound to his leg. Police are seeking information on this incident, and they urge anyone that has information to contact Delaware Crime Stoppers as the investigation continues. And on a related note, Delaware State Police's 2023 annual report revealed they have investigated 24 homicides just last year. Alarmingly, June of 2023 had seen 6 homicides in Kent and Sussex counties alone, signaling a significant increase in violent incidents. While the exact cause of the increase remains unclear at this time, officials emphasize that the incidents are unrelated. Now, despite the rise in homicides, state police remain regular patrols and assure the public of their readiness and ready to respond to serious incidents. And a 20-year-old man is in stable condition after being shot in the parking lot of Royal Farms on South Market Street. Police say the shooting occurred shortly before 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. The victim was driven to a hospital, and troopers have no details on the suspect. Anyone with information on this is urged to contact Troop 2 Criminal Investigations at 302-365-8446, or you can call Delaware Crime Stoppers. And police have also arrested a 36-year-old man named Larry Kelly of Newport for felony assault and other charges following a stolen vehicle and a hit and run at the Christiana Hospital. That happened on June 8th of this year. Shortly after 8 a.m., Kelly, who was a patient at the hospital, fled in an unsecured SUV, striking a constable who sustained some serious injuries. Troopers later found the abandoned SUV and arrested Kelly, who does not apparently have a valid driver's license. After medical clearance, he was charged and held on an $11,500 cash bond at the Howard R. Young Correctional Institution. And state police and Newark police are joining forces to investigate a series of gas station robberies and break-ins in Ogletown and Newark that happened Saturday morning. The first incident occurred at 5 a.m. on Route 273 and Harmony Road, where 3 suspects apparently smashed a window, confronted the store clerk, and stole cash. Then at 6 a.m., thieves apparently used a vehicle to break into a gas station on South College Avenue, attempting to remove the building's ATM. Well, 10 minutes later, a gas station on South Main Street was targeted, with suspects stealing cash. No injuries were reported. And speaking of crime, Newcastle County is aiming to curb gun theft and violence with 3 proposed ordinances. One would tighten security measures at gun stores following recent break-ins. Another would limit the proximity of gun retailers to residential areas, schools, as well as parks. A third would ban firearms and related items from county buildings and police stations. Supporters believe these measures prioritize safety without impeding lawful gun ownership. County Executive Matt Meyer backs these ordinances, emphasizing the need for policies that balance hunting rights with public safety concerns. And a new education report was just released, and it's unfortunately not looking good for Delaware students. The Annie E. Casey Foundation's annual Kids Count data book reveals pandemic-related setbacks in student nationwide learning. Nationally, only 1 in 3 4th graders meet reading standards, a quarter of 8th graders are proficient in math, and 30% are chronically absent. In Delaware, 75% of 4th graders lack reading proficiency, 82% of 8th graders lack math proficiency, and 1 in 4 are chronically absent. Delaware ranks 45th in education nationally, highlighting challenges in economic well-being, health, and family and community factors. The foundation advocates for solutions such as providing low-cost meals, reliable internet, and tutoring, and maximizing pandemic relief funding for student well-being. And to Sussex County now, where the Georgetown Town Council conducted a first reading of a recreational marijuana ordinance, prompting debates and revisions before sending it back for redrafting. Initially, the ordinance would permit a maximum of 2 state-licensed retail marijuana stores within town limits, mainly along the highway rather than the downtown areas. Requirements include consistent architectural design, prompt graffiti removal, and regular litter cleanup with no outdoor dining or drive-thrus allowed. Discussion included adjusting the store opening time to 9 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. and establishing distance limits from schools, daycares, churches, and rehabilitation homes. Mayor Bill West emphasizes the aim of controlling marijuana businesses, before Delaware's industry launch, noting state regulations and consumer responsibilities. Public input is welcome for the ordinance's redrafting, necessitating another first reading after these revisions. And we want to let you know about a free electric fan distribution for Wilmington seniors starting today, Tuesday, June 11th. Fans will be given out Tuesdays through Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services, the 7th floor of the Reading Government Building. That's at 800 North French Street, and they're while supplies last. Eligibility requires recipients to be 65 years or older, live within the city of Wilmington limits, have a valid state ID, and not have received a free fan in 2023. Safety tips include avoiding fan use when temperatures exceed 95 degrees, staying hydrated, wearing light clothing, and checking on vulnerable neighbors. You want to avoid leaving children, elderly, or pets in parked cars, and for heat-related illnesses, you'll want to seek medical help immediately. And that's all for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us across all of your favorite social media platforms. And for a look at what's happening all around the state of Delaware, head to our website. That's detvch.com. With tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. We'll see you again here later this week. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and nurse navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.